One Piece, Chapter 1, 1138 has finally came out, and it is safe to say that this week's chapter was quite easily one of the greatest that Oda has dropped in a long time. This chapter focused on quite a few things, but the vast majority of the fan focus, natural, went towards one particular scene at the very end pertaining to the Harley texts and the mural in a forest-like part of the Atom Tree. With Shamrock Figureland and his holy knight continuing their advance in the land of the giants in an attempt to subdue it, and everything else about the lore of the One Piece world that Oda's been throwing into the mix, it can be said that One Piece, Chapter 1138, was, undoubtedly, one of the very best chapters that the series has produced in a long time, and quite easily the best chapter in the Final Saga so far. One Piece, Chapter 1138 gave the fans exactly what they wanted when it first began, and that is the confrontation between Loki and the Holy Knights. Oda brilliantly used this moment to give more lore about the Figureland family to the fans, and things started making a lot of sense pertaining to how Shanks dealt with the whole idea of his celestial dragon lineage. Shamrock clearly went on to reveal that Shanks and him are related by blood, and that he's the older twin of the two. Shanks was separated from Shamrock on the island of God Valley, and then raised by the Roger Pirates. But Shamrock continued as a celestial dragon, and was raised to be the head of the Holy Knights eventually. According to Shamrock, Shanks came back to the Holy Land of Marijoa once, and this was likely after the Roger Pirates disbanded. However, he had taken too much of a liking to the surface below, because of which he ended up leaving and continuing his journey as a pirate. More than that, Oda also gave us a proper glimpse of Shamrock's capabilities in One Piece, Chapter 1138. While Shamrock chose not to fight by himself, he used his sword, Cerberus, to attack Loki. Much to the surprise of the fans, sword can actually transform into a Cerberus. It is interesting to note that this appears to be an enchanted sword, meaning this sword likely hasn't consumed a devil fruit, but just like the Gorosei, has a mythical power bestowed to it somehow. This is indicated by the black flames and the black cloud around the neck of the Cerberus, and at the same time, the fact that Oda chose to not reveal the Cerberus as a devil fruit, but as a mythical beast instead. The power of the Cerberus is immense, and it can actually detach all of its heads, with each one producing a sword from its mouth and attacking the target. In this case, the target happened to be Loki. While Shamrock has officially left the underworld of Elbaff, he also recognizes that he needs more people in Elbaff if he is to subjugate the country under his control, which is precisely why a third man is being called in. Who that person is remains unknown. One Piece, Chapter 1138, gave the fans a good look at the mysterious man in Elbaff, who fans know has been waiting for Luffy all this time. While the true identity of this man still remains unknown, One Piece, Chapter 1138, practically confirmed it already. In the Orist Castle, Luffy was seen speaking to the two giants who were attacked by Shamrock and Gunko. While they suggested it was Shanks who attacked them, Luffy protested his innocence, stating that it must have been a look-alike or a brother, which just goes to show how much faith Luffy has in Shanks. Naturally, Luffy wondered about Shanks's family, stating that for him, his real family was the Roger Pirates, including Roger and Rayleigh, but excluding Buggy. The paneling here is key, and just as Luffy mentioned this, we got to see the mystery man move closer to the Orist Castle. Clearly, this person is implied to be a member of the Roger Pirates. Roger is dead, Rayleigh is on Amazon Lily, while Crocus is at the Twin Peaks. The only other relevant member of the Roger Pirates is Scopper Gaban, which is what we had theorized all along. It appears that Scopper Gaban's meeting with Luffy is inevitable now. Quiet easily, the best part of One Piece Chapter 1138 came at the very end, when Frankie, along with Ripley, was seen exploring the Atom Tree, and they came across an ancient mural from the Void Century. Meanwhile, in the Owl Library, Robin was given the Harley texts from Saul, which she finally translated. Oda used the juxtaposition of Robin's narration with the vision of Frankie brilliantly, and fans got what can be considered to be the single most valuable double-page spread in all of One Piece, detailing the wars of the First and the Second World, as per the Harley texts. This is what the Harley texts said. First world flames engulfed the land, and humans succumbed to their desires, touching the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, and the sun god appeared. The earth god was enraged, and together with the serpent of infernal flames, shrouded the world in death and darkness. They would never meet again. Second world breath stirred within the void, and the forest god sent forth demons. The sun did nothing but spread the fires of war. The people of the half-moon dreamed. The people of the full moon dreamed. Humans slew the sun and became gods, and the sea god raged. They would never meet again. Third world. In chaos, there is void. The troubled shadow remembers the promised day and hears the voice of the fractured moon, the sun. God dances and laughs, leading the world to its end. The sun will return once more, and a new dawn will arrive. Surely this time they will meet again. The Harley text in itself is quite intriguing, and essentially reveals some of the most important bits about the One Piece world, including the two wars that happened long ago, one in the Void Century and the other long before it, during an unknown era, as well as setting up the third war to come.